All right. Your theme of the month is the Empress. Very nurturing, very loving, very kind energy, but views the world with, sorry, I'm moving my chair up. It's a little far from my table. The Empress views the world with kindness and just forgiveness and knowing that there's blessings out there. Remember to let positive energy lead your path. Remember to let, love lead your path. Even if you're feeling destroyed in that area, even if you're not feeling it, this is talking about you have, abundance and things surrounding you. Even if your love life isn't where you want it to be right now, even if work isn't going great, even if, everything in the nature of the world has got you down, take a look around you. The Empress talks about seeing what's right in front of you and recognizing the true blessings that surround your life. The next card you have is your current position coming into the month. And you have the 10 of Candles or 10 of Wands. So releasing a burden of some sort. I feel like for some of you, this is a burden that's needed to be released for a long time. It's either a burden on yourself about maybe somebody that you're not in contact with anymore. And so you needed to release that burden, finally let them go. Or it can be, maybe the opposite where you're actually thinking about this person and, you've decided it's time to do something about it. It's interesting because the 10 of Wands is the responsibility, okay? But it's also a first completion. So for some of you, this is going to be the movement towards forgiving or forgetting something in the past. This is, spreading yourself too thin, biting off more than you can chew, loosening some dead weight so that you can lighten your load and feel free to say, no. This talks about just life in general right now, Pisces. I think some of you are pulled thin when it comes to love, family, work, etc. And the 10 of Wands talks about making sure to be able to say no when you need to say no. Some of you, though, there's this burden of there's like somebody over here or somebody from the past or somebody that still haunts you. And I don't want to say haunt in like a bad way. Maybe it's because I'm using the Nightmare Before Christmas cards, but it's like you still dream about this person. You still think about this person. I'm not saying you're going to reconnect. We'll see what the cards say, but there is somebody who's still on your mind and you're trying to figure out how do you either completely disconnect or is it time to, reconnect? The next card you have is how you're feeling coming into the month. And you have the 8 of Wands or 8 of Candles. The 8 of Wands is quick forward momentum, very quick momentum. So I think you're going to go either towards somebody or somebody's going to be coming towards you very quickly, going along with this 10 of Candles. And maybe that's what it is. Somebody is trying to connect with you or you can feel them coming on. When you think about somebody and then they call you or you call somebody and they're like, oh my gosh, you've been on my mind the past couple of days. It's that type of situation because there is some sort of like, maybe you need closure. Again, something that needs to be lifted to lighten your load. But the 8 of Wands or 8 of Candles comes through. The 8 of Wands is just quick. It's somebody coming in with a message, something coming across, your path where somebody needs to talk to you or they want to talk to you or vice versa. You're wanting to talk to them. This is like, okay, now's the time. So in your mind, this is like the universe sending you an opportunity to move forward and to move forward with ease. So whatever's bothering you here, you'll get some sort of resolution here, or you're starting to realize what you need to do or how you need to clear the air or how you need to move forward from either a past situation or go back to, even if it's just to get closure. Again, the universe usually pushes you in some sort of direction. So you'll have been thinking about this person a lot more than you have lately. You'll see their car a lot. It's a very like intuitive type position to be in. The next card you have is your distant past or the past 5-10 years, could be throughout your childhood, and you have the Queen of Potions or Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is very silent, and I feel like the universe is telling you there's nothing wrong with silence. Before, maybe you always felt like you had to be on, you had to always, have something to say, or you had to always, this is just, the Queen of Cups is somebody who's very otherworldly, okay? Otherless. I don't know how I was going to say that. Otherworldly. The Queen of Cups is very mysterious. This is somebody who's not posting on a bunch of social media. This is not somebody who's trying to get a bunch of people's attention. The Queen of Cups is definitely somebody who has almost made peace with themselves and peace with the situation and debating on what to do. And this talks about there's no need to rush. Okay. The Queen of Cups talks about getting into your feels, digging deep and figuring out what it is you want, finding peace, and a solution. So whatever's going on here, Pisces, especially with this coming out in your distant past, you are trying to find some sort of, or some of you are trying to find some sort of closure, or trying to find some sort of peaceful way of communicating with somebody from the past. Or if they're trying to communicate with you right now, you're trying to figure out, how can I do this without it turning into something ugly? How can I approach this? Because there's something on your mind or something on this person from your past mind, and the connection is still very strong. And the Queen of Cups, again, is talking about, I don't need to rush. So maybe in the past, when things got crazy, immediately you guys would try and make it work, or you would try and, just dig your heels in the ground and we're going to figure this out. But now you're thinking about this in a totally different situation. Maybe enough time has passed that you're hoping you guys can at least have some sort of cordial conversation, because it's bothering you. Whatever it is bothering you, or it's bothering them heavily. And you guys are both like almost on the same vibration right now, because they're bothered by it. You're bothered by it, but you want it like either done and over with, or you want to know what the next step is, especially with that 8 of Candles coming out. The next card you have is your immediate past, or the past 2 weeks, past month or two. And you have the Queen of Presents, or Queen of Pentacles. Now the Queen of Pentacles is very generous energy. So this tells me that this is somebody that maybe you have not wanted to give the time of day to. They're not giving the time of day to you. And that's kind of turned full circle. All of a sudden there's kind of like a, okay, let's have a conversation, or okay, like we don't hate each other's guts as much as we thought. Because the Queen of, the Queen of Pentacles is very nurturing, very maternal, paternal. And it's almost like a changing in personality, or a life improvement, going away from selfish tendencies, embracing a more accepting attitude. So if somebody hurt you pretty bad in the past, Pisces, you've been closed off, you haven't wanted to deal with it, now's the time. The universe is saying, we're going to give you some sort of opportunity here to deal with it. And you have, these energies are very similar in the fact that they're very accepting, they're very loving, they're very nurturing energies. So something's changed here, Pisces, with you and this other person, to where maybe you're like, okay, I could actually tolerate having a conversation with them. Maybe they hurt you, maybe you hurt them, whatever, maybe you both hurt each other. And now there's like this weight being lifted, as I said, with like the ugliness is starting to disappear, if that makes sense. The need to like want to fight or point fingers isn't so present. The next card you have is the Ace of Needles, or the Ace of Swords. Logic. Oh my gosh, you guys make me like completely fumble my words. I keep saying like 2 or 3 words mixed together. It's clarity, it's logic, it's power. And the Ace of Swords is somebody who can see things very clearly. So you're going to know right away in the next few months, whether looking back, or even thinking about the past, or contemplating the past, or indulging in the past, or communicating with the past, however you want to say it, is wise. You're going to know, like, it's going to be instinctual. It's going to be right in your face. Like, oh, no, we're going to end up in the same place. We can barely get past hello without arguing. I just wanted to get some closure. I wish you the best. Boom, it's done. This could also be, the opposite, where it's like, okay, now it's time. And I see the time coming in. A lot of times your reads, Pisces, for me are very double. And I don't know if it's the fish or what it is, but it seems as when your person's flowing, you're flowing. Or when they're thinking about you, you're thinking about them. Then when you're busy, they're busy. It's a yin and a yang type situation, but it's weighing very heavy, because I don't know that you really want to go forward with this person. And I don't know that this person really wants to go forward with you. But for some reason, you can't get each other off your minds. The next card you have is your immediate future. So over the next few weeks throughout December. And you have the Lovers. Well, okay. So they're obviously still in your mind. You miss them tremendously. They miss you tremendously. If it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. But this is Pisces read. So, I'm reading the cards as they come. The Lovers means the lovers. So don't go down in the comments and be like, I hate this fool, and I would never talk to this fool again. They're idiot. Like, I get it. If it doesn't resonate for you, it doesn't resonate. But I'm not going to sugarcoat the Lovers, and the Lovers is what it is. Now, could this be new love? Yes. But with the 10 of Wands coming out and still having this burden and this connection and the universe giving you an opportunity to digress. No, more than likely, this is a past person that you still have feelings for and they have feelings for you. The Lover's card is Gemini, so you could be dealing with a Gemini or have Gemini placements in your chart. Now, this tells me over the next couple of weeks, I really do feel a nostalgic energy coming in, almost an ultimatum. And it may be an ultimatum in your head or maybe an ultimatum in their head, but you're still, again, on each other's minds enough that the possibility of love could still be there. Or I don't think that you've completely closed that door. And I'm not sure necessarily that this person hasn't either. It feels very balanced between you and this person, even though a lot of you aren't even talking, maybe haven't talked to this person for months or years. There's still always been that vibration between you. The next card you have is anything tangible throughout the month. You have the Five of Pentacles or the Five of Presents. This is going to be something that, could last a day, a week, a month, that you experience. Now, the Five of Pentacles is feeling left out in the cold. So this is either they try and contact you and you're just not sure, so you don't answer. Maybe they blocked you. Maybe you blocked them. This is just kind of feeling helpless and trying to figure out what should I do? Because a lot of you are assuming if you and this person get back together or if something happens and you guys really, like if I put the effort into it, then am I just wasting my time? But this talks about you're closer than you think to figuring it out. You're closer than you think to finding what you want. And it's okay to let your guard down with this Five of Pentacles. The next card you have is anything you're going to feel throughout the month. And you have this Strength card, which is Leo's card. You could be dealing with a Leo or have Leo placements in your chart. But the Strength card is just that. It's strength. It's self-belief. It's positivity. It's the ability to move forward or move backward. So if you decide you want to close this completely off, you don't even want to contact, you don't want any contact from them, you don't want to contact them, you just want to close the deal and seal the deal, then you may, light a candle and ask the universe to just relieve you of this person. Try practicing different meditation techniques where if you start thinking about this person, you change the subject in your mind. There's all different ways. People ask me a lot, they'll email me, well, how do I get closure? It's different for everybody. There's a lot of times when I have a thought in my head that I don't want in my head anymore. It's bothersome or it's a worry that I shouldn't be worried about. And I'll immediately, the minute I start thinking about it, I'll be like, love. And I'll just think about something else and totally switch gears. And you may be like, oh, that's stupid, but it works for me. It may not work for you. Or I'll be thinking about something that's really bothering me. I can't sleep. I'm doing the toss and turn, thinking about work or thinking about that. And I'll just, all of a sudden say, I don't know, like dog, and change the subject. Again, you may be like, that's the stupidest thing I've heard. That's my business, but that's how it works for me. My point is the Strength card is saying that regardless of whether you want to move forward or not, you'll have the strength to go either way. Some of you are done with the connection, the vibration. You just can't shake it loose. You can't cut it. And you need the strength in order to do that. For others of you, you need the strength to be okay with this and say, I forgive and I forget, and they forgive and they forget. Can we make something new? Can we grow from the ashes? The next card you have is your fears or hopes for the outcome. And you have the King of Candles or King of Wands. And this says the King of Wands is somebody who's very magnetic, somebody who's very, has a high morality. The King of Wands is somebody that people look up to and people know that this person, embraces strong abilities. And very good communication skills. So at the end of the day, whether you're closing this off or you want to see it forward or continue or reopen this chapter, it's going to be about how you guys communicate and how you come across and how they come across. And, because some of you are very nervous. I get this feeling there's somebody out there who's like, well, no matter what I say to him, no matter what I say to her, they're just going to jump down my throat, or it's going to be a game, or this too shall pass. There's been enough time between some of you that you may be pleasantly surprised, or it may just be closure of, hey, you've met somebody, they've met somebody, whatever the case may be. Again, there's something heavily weighing on this connection to see what's going on. Well, there you go. You have the Two of Cups. And if you know, the Two of Cups or Two of Potions is the ultimate twin flame card. This is a karmic connection. That's why you can't lose this connection. That's why it's not fading. Because I don't know that you necessarily want it to fade. But at the same time, you're not sure what you want. And so you're trying to figure out, what am I, what are my options here? What do I want to do? Because the Two of Cups, like I said, is that nostalgic. It's that love. It's that soulmate connection. That it's a connection above all connections that's not just gonna disappear overnight. So either this is the time to ignite it again, or this is the time to, get the closure you need. But it may come down to getting the closure you need by actually having had some sort of communication. Like, hey, I'm sorry that this is what happened. And maybe, you'll get the same response from them. But I mean, having the Two of Cups come out and the Lover's card come out when you've got this burden of some sort of connection from the past coming out, there's definitely some feels here. There's still feels here. You're still into each other, regardless of how much time has passed, how many, relationships you've had, how many relationships they've had, whatever's going on. It might actually be like a relief to have a conversation with this person, even if it is just, how you doing? Oh, great. I hope, you have everything you ever hoped for. I miss you and care about you, but I'm letting you go now. You know what I mean? All right, let's see what the clarifying cards say. Very interesting. So you have the Six of Pentacles here, and the Six of Pentacles is a very generous energy, similar to the Queen, except for the Six is a charitable energy. So this is one of you or both of you may be like, okay, it's the holidays. I'll talk to her. I'll talk to him, and vice versa. The Six of Pentacles, like I said, is a very giving energy, but sometimes can be charitable. And so it may be that, you're resisting going, I miss you. And they're resisting going, I miss you. But there's a feeling of happiness here that maybe is in disguise. Let's just put it that way. Now you have the Ten of Pentacles following. The Ten of Pentacles is legacy. This is generational. This is somebody that, you thought you were going to spend the rest of your life with. Maybe you still intend on someday spending the rest of your life with this person. Just now is not the time, or now is the time to resurrect it. But the Ten of Pentacles does talk about the future, and this is for the long haul. This is a long haul future of, again, that legacy, the generational, till death do us part, doesn't necessarily mean you have to get married, but it's talking about kids and grandkids and grandbabies and all of the above. Now, you have the Four of Wands here, which is happiness, resting, first completion. So it may be that your first completion is that you guys just get in contact with each other and see where you're going to go. But the Four of Wands is one of my favorite cards in the deck when it comes to love, because this is something more. This is two people feeling a happiness. This is, two people who move in together or take a next step. So maybe you guys had all these plans and never pursued them, and now there's going to be some sort of pursuing those plans. What I find interesting here, though, is you have the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords is leaving a situation or abandoning a situation or retreating from a situation. I don't feel as though you're going to retreat from the situation. The Six of Swords also talks about travel or vacation. So one of you may be traveling or going somewhere, or maybe you have to travel to meet each other or greet each other, because there's nothing, having the Two of Cups come up, the Lovers come up, the Four of Wands come up, and then the Six of Swords. Maybe you're leaving an old situation behind, as far as like maybe you're seeing somebody now, maybe you've been dating, and in order to be with this person, you're going to leave that life behind. You're going to close down the online accounts. You're going to, or vice versa. They're going to be doing that. And you guys decide, I'm going to leave this past behind and come technically, and you have the angel aura communication and, leave whatever I'm doing now and go to the past and see if we can't give it one more try. Because again, the Six of Swords coming in as like abandonment or retreat doesn't make sense with all of the love on the table. But again, like I said, it could be travel, it could be vacation. And it almost feels like abandoning whatever you're up to now in order to like secure some sort of stability or security with this person from the past. It's been weighing on you heavily. Look, at the end of the day, you're both just into each other. There's no denying that. Even if you haven't spoken in forever, that connection still flares, and there needs to be probably some communication to figure out your next move, whether you're closing this chapter out or whether you guys are going to have another go at it. Either way, this has been on your mind for a long time. It's been on their mind for a long time as well.